Alright.
Dibs.
You don't get that. I bought this at Naka. No.
Well, then can I at least...
No!
You get InuYasha.
Nah, that's not a toy.
Because today, we're reviewing InuYasha. Guys, I'll take the toys away. Don't break my stuff. We here at Team Animeishness hate doing summaries. So we draw cards, and low card has to give the summary. High card gets first opinion.
I got a 5.
I got a 5.
I got a 3. I got a rock. We're gonna have to do that joke sometime. InuYasha is the story of InuYasha and Kagome's journey through feudal Japan,
Which is down a well.
And their journey to recollect the pieces of the Shikon Jewel Shard, which people throughout the world want to use to gain power, to gain skill, or just money. Why not?
This guy.
He's not part of the story. Along their journey, they meet varying companions that follow them along, wanting the Shikon Jewel Shard for either their own reasons or they just want to make sure it stays out of the wrong hands. So since you two tied, who wants to get first opinion? Why don't you, since this is your Ugly Wallpaper series? By the way, Ugly Wallpaper is a reference to a series that you watched when you were younger and you really like it, but you're almost afraid to take down the paper and look behind and see the wall might be better than the paper. So with that in mind, go ahead and give us your first opinion.
This show is completely nostalgic to me because it's probably one of the first anime I've actually watched.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it still holds some moments where I'm like, I want to go back and watch that certain episode because it was funny. Because I liked it. Because, let's face it, that character was awesome in that episode.
I'll be good. Can I have it back?
Alright. Yako, your opinion?
My opinion on this one is kind of in the neutral. It's also kind of nostalgic for me, but I don't have as much lingering wallpaper as Div does. Don't get angry just because I don't like the same things as you. It's called, like, what is the word for that?
Different opinions?
I was thinking of variety. There's a variety of people. And I'm a variety, and you're not. So, I don't necessarily love or hate this show. It is somewhat nostalgic to me as being one of the very first ones I ever started watching. I didn't get very far in the series, and that I watched lots of scattered episodes while it was on TV because I didn't know TV had a schedule for a really long time. But Sesshomaru was my first crush, so there's that.
For this series, I grew up on this, except I was much later to the InuYasha party than most people. All the toys you see, however, are mine, and I'm missing several of them. This is a series that I do love going back and watching specific episodes. And when I was little, my characters that I like changed from now. The animation is good. The final act definitely does better with more creativity on how the magic stuff works. What would you say, though, like,
for the time period, though?
For the time period it was in, it was average. Some of the attack moves were very, very clever. I think they did a much better job of destroying the Earth than a lot of anime like Dragon Ball Z do. But the character designs, unfortunately, a lot of them look exactly the same. It didn't bother me as a child, though, so I don't really care.
Do you mean like facial-wise?
Their face shapes, their body proportions, and a lot of them have the exact same bangs.
His tail fell off.
Alright, so characters.
My favorite character actually has to be Sesshomaru.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was the first villain I actually loved. And he's pretty. And he has this, I don't give two craps about what you say or what you're doing, and I don't even care if you're related to me. I still want you dead attitude.
Mm-hmm. And yet, he develops very nicely in the series.
Really
he
does.
starts off as being completely cold-hearted. I don't really have much of a personality aside from, I hate everything! But very quietly. I hate everything very quietly. And then he goes on to develop this, I guess I should care. This does involve me, doesn't it? Well, I should probably... And
he had a giant, ironic, like, development because he went from hating humans to Ren.
Ren was a nice character for him.
It balanced.
Who would be my favorite character? Since Div took Shoshomura, even though he loved me first.
Here, I'll go next. When I was watching the series originally, Koga was hands down my all-time favorite character.
Ow.
But since I've gotten older and Moroku has gone from that weirdo that says weird things to women to this actually charming character, when you get older you start to realize that he's more than just a flirt, there's something deeper to his character. And I find myself rewatching his episodes more than anyone else's.
Yay, comedy.
Yes, and I'm also a sucker for more comedic characters.
I guess in light of a lot of the characters that I enjoy writing, and as far as other ones that I enjoy throughout series, InuYasha probably is one that I really do enjoy. His stubbornness, his overall kind of immature attitude is kind of fantastic. Not necessarily unique or special, but I do enjoy it. Especially those early episodes and the first time Kagome forces him to sit. Oh, nostalgia.
And let's take a moment and say this has to be like the best mascot character ever.
Yeah,
It helps in the series. It doesn't have an annoying catchphrase. Its personality.
make a contract!
Yes.
Sorry, what?
And I was... Never mind. There's nothing that can beat that. And it's just... Kirara's just generally likable. Probably because it's the personality of a domestic house cat and they didn't try to go do something crazy.
I do have to say, I think Koga was a good reoccurring supporting character throughout the entire thing.
Yes, he was a good reoccurring supporting character.
Because, he wasn't one that through a time he ended up being friends with InuYasha. No, I don't even think they were friends even close to the end because he still hated him.
Yeah.
But he's always willing to help if it benefits him.
And if he can get his paws on Kagome. So what do we think of the story, the plot, the non-existent thread that tries to tie together beads?
The beginning of the long run of never-ending anime?
This was really one of the first one, wasn't it?
Have some filler.
Oh my god, the filler was so painfully obvious.
Well,
But you didn't
when you're
always
little,
dislike
you didn't
it.
notice it.
Yeah, I know, but now if you watch it, you're just like...
I don't remember the plot, you guys, from when I was watching it when I was younger. Well, I don't really remember what was going on. I just know that I wanted Kagome and InuYasha to be together.
This isn't a series you are going to watch because you like in-depth plots that reflect upon the depths of humanity and what it is to be good and evil. No, you're watching this to see the good guy defeat the bad guy, except you're not going to get to watch him beat the bad guy for the longest friggin' time.
But it is funny to see InuYasha go through all these struggles of realizing how weak he can actually be.
Mm-hmm.
And then
And I think he was the first character to really try to be, I'm weak, I need to grow. I think he was one of the first ones of that.
But I also do love the fact that there's like this whole underlying plot of just how much he's really trying to beat his brother too.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, do we want
Give our numbers, yep.
I give it an 8 for nostalgia.
I'm only gonna give it a 5. I liked it, but I didn't love it.
I'm going to give it a 5.5 because the animation for the time was fairly well, the voice acting was fairly well done. The problem is there is no plot. The characters
Look at how well this is.
very rarely develop, and a lot of the things don't seem to last between episode to episode. They seem to want to develop the characters in the filler, and then when the actual series progresses, they're like, whoops, that didn't actually happen.
That was filler. That doesn't mean it's canon, right?
So that gives us a 6.16 Shikon Jewel Shards. We're Team Animeishness, and we will see you in the next video. Laters. Read 'em and weep, boys. Read 'em and weep. Now give 'em back.
don't care what they said about Ugly Wallpaper. You know what? This is an Ugly Wallpaper show. It's a great show, but that's my opinion. If you think it's a great show, like and subscribe. If you don't, I don't care.